وعلى أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وقدوتنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Respected brothers and sisters in Islam, first we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once again. Allah has granted us the tawfiq and the ability to perform our Maghrieb Salaah with Jama'ah. Alhamdulillah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that indeed as-salatu imaduddin, that salah is one of the main pillars of Islam. One of the main pillars of our deen and iman is the establishment of salah. And whoever establishes a salah, he is established and made his iman firm. Whoever neglect and abandons his salah, for indeed he has weakened his iman. The structure of iman has become weak, says Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we ask Allah to make us of those who preserve and protect our salah and establish our salah wherever we might be. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. This evening, inshallah, we continue again with Surah of Tafsir. Last week we've completed Surah Shams. This evening again we start Surah Al-Layl. In Surah Al-Layl, one of the virtues of Surah Al-Layl, as the Mufassirun mentioned, similar to that of Surah Shams and Sabbih and Surah Al-Sama'i wa Tariq, all of these verses were, all of these surahs were surahs that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged the companions to recite in the Isha Salah. When the story of Mu'adh is mentioned over and over, when he lengthened the Salah, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that, Ya Mu'adh, instead of lengthening the Salah, because amongst the Musallis, they are the sick, they are the weak, the elderly, shorten the Salah, rather recite وَالشَّمْسِ وَالضُّحَاهَا سَبِّحِ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْأَعْلَى and وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَخْشَى. Recite these surahs because they are not too lengthy. They are moderate in length and it is easier for the people. So these are one of the surahs Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam also encouraged us to recite in our Salah. And like Surah Shams, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again starts off with this surah, where Allah takes again an oath, certain oaths. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off by saying, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والليل إذا يغشى والليل إذا يغشى, by the night as it envelopes, meaning when it covers the creation with darkness. When the evening comes, especially we understand and we see this more when we see it's load shedding outside, that how dark it became. And sometimes when there's no lights, anything, it becomes so dark you can't even see in front of you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking an oath by how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends this darkness, this night that envelopes and covers everything. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى, and by the day as it appears again, meaning with its light and its radiance. As we've mentioned in Surah Shams, وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا, Allah takes a qasam by the sun and by the radiance of the sun and the light that it provides. Here again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes an oath by the light which the sun provides and how it lights up everything and how it brings everything back to life. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنْثَى, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by Him who created the male and the female. So yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again Allah brings our attention to how Allah has created things in pairs. How Allah has created with the day, the night. With the male, Allah has created the female. And everything over and over in the Quran, Allah brings to our attention how Allah has created things in pairs. وَخَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا in Surah Abas and Surah Amma Yatasa. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions وَمِن كُلِّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقَنَا زَوْجَيْنِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created everything in pairs. And why Allah says in another ayah لَعَلَّكُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, so that you can ponder over the creation of Allah. Imagine if Allah only created the night and there was no day, how difficult would life be? Or if Allah only created the day without night, how will we be? If Allah has created only heat and not cold, or only cold and no heat, Allah created only men, no women. So Allah has created, Allah has balanced this dunya, and Allah has created things in pairs. And Allah brings to our attention how Allah has created the day and the night, how Allah has created male and female. And some Mufassirun then mention and why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even the way Allah's name Dhakar refers to male, to refers to the males. And dhakar is also used in Arabic for a sword, which refers to something which is hard, something which is rigid, something that cannot be bent, something that is tough. And these are some of the characteristics of a male. He is rough, he is rigid, it is hard, emotionally stronger than woman. And then untha, which refers to the female, again, Allah has created with the opposite qualities again. Untha also refers, as Mufassirun mentioned, in Arabic is used for a soft piece of land, easy to cultivate, easy to grow, something that produces, something that is soft, like the qualities of a woman. And how Allah has created everyone different and opposite to each other. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions after that, Inna sa'yakum lashatta. Like how Allah has created us differently in pairs, Inna sa'yakum lashatta. Allah mentions that certainly your efforts and deeds are diverse. Like how Allah has created us differently, likewise our efforts in what we put in and what we strive for in this dunya is also different. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again after this, Allah breaks and divide us into two categories of people. When it comes to our effort in this dunya, and the effort in this dunya, what we strive for are those who strive in the right path, the first category of people, and those who strive in the wrong path, on the wrong path. The effort is going in the wrong direction. So the first, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, as for those people whose efforts are in the proper and the correct directions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what are the actions and what are they doing? فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى. There are those people who give and they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here the Mufassirun mention, Allah beautifully mentions that Allah doesn't restrict giving to money. Allah says, وَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى. Whoever gives from what Allah has provided him, whether it be his money Allah has given to him, whether it be his time Allah has given to him, whether it be a smile that is given to the next person, whether it be a kind word is given to the next person, whether it's be nasiha, admonishment, advice is given to the next person. And many times, whether he's using his skill, for example, a person cannot, for example, maybe afford to buy 1,000 bricks or buy a 20 liter of paint to paint the masjid or to build the madrasa or to invest in the akhirah, but that person has the ability and the skill to build and to build that structure. So instead of using his money, he uses his skill Allah has given him in the path of Allah. He cannot buy the paint, but he can use the skill of painting to strive in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has created everyone differently. So فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى, those who give, whatever Allah has given to them, whatever blessing they can give, they strive in the path of Allah. وَاتَّقَى, and they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here the Mufassirun, the ulama mentioned, it's for us to take note that a person cannot only be a humanitarian. We cannot claim that I work for humans. I want to better their life. I want to give them opportunities, but I don't have a connection with Allah. Remember in Surah Ghashiyah, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh was looking at the monk, and he was crying. Amilatun nasiba, why he strived. He gave so much of his time. You could see the tiredness and the fatigue on the face of the person. But it is doing it without iman. There's no iman. He's not believing in Allah. So it's like all of that effort is wasted. Likewise, when a person strives to better his community, he feeds the poor, he does all of the good work, but he has no connection with Allah. He doesn't fear Allah. He doesn't fulfill the command of Allah. That doesn't go hand in hand. And that's why Allah says, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى. Those who spend in the path of Allah and they fear Allah. So when you connected to the haqq and the rights of insan is the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that balance need to be there. That balance need to be there first in my connection with Allah and then my connection with the insan. How I can better improve and how I can assist the next person. وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى. So they give, they fear Allah. وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى, and believe in the husna. And husna meaning, the Mufassirun say, it is that in the compensation for that. This was said by Qatada and many other Mufassirun, that the person brings and he affirms and he believes the promise of Allah, that Allah will reward him in the day of Qiyamah for the good that he is doing. He's not just doing it, but he's doing it hoping for the reward of Allah. He confirms and he believes with his heart that there's a Jannah I'm working towards. There's a fire of Jahannam I need to abstain from. I need to strive and put my effort towards the things and those actions that will bring me closer to Jannah and which will ultimately bring about the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah says, فَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَ, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we will make smooth for him the path of ease. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make easy for that person if he gives whatever Allah has given him, spending the path of Allah, he fears Allah, he affirms and he brings the reality of the reward of Allah, of Jannah and Jahannam, fulfilling the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah will make easy his path. Some Mufassirun mention easy his path towards Jannah, or Allah will facilitate ease for him to continue with the righteous and good deeds. And ultimately, this is what we wanted, and we don't want to be of those who does once a year or once 2 days in the year that we spend our money or we make salah or we read the Quran. We want to ultimately be of those who these righteous deeds become easy for us. And that's why some ulama has mentioned, if you want to measure the love of Allah for you, then see how easy it is for you to worship Allah. If it is easy for you to worship Allah, if it's easy for you to wake up in the morning for Fajr to come to the masjid or perform your salah at home with the family on time, if it's easy for you to spend of your wealth, then it's a sign that Allah loves the person. Allah has made it easy for him to do righteous deeds. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us these three qualities. Firstly, to make us of those who will spend whatever we can in the path of Allah. Make us of those who fear and be conscious of Allah, and those who believe in the reward that will be given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on our actions and what we have striven for in this dunya. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that ultimately through that Allah must grant us the ability, Allah make it easy for us to continue on the right path, easy for us to do righteous deeds for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah to give us the tawfiq and understanding. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanallah, subhanallah.